Good morning, afternoon or evening, and welcome back to Edenia. Today you're watching me play some more Kerbal Space Program. Now last time we launched a rocket to the moon and back, and the same rocket could take us all the way to Minmus, but we're not going to do that just yet because we've got some contracts to do in Kerbin Orbit. We've got a couple of stranded astronomers and we need to get those guys back. Astronomers, astronauts, all sorts of scientists. I even think there's an engineer among them. So I've built this basic stage. Last time we made a Start Booster Mark 1, and this will be a different one. This will be the Start Booster Mark 0. To orbit and back, no problem. Save. So this little booster will take something to orbit if it's not too heavy. This payload is 7.5 tons, which is a bit on the hefty side because we're packing a lot of fuel because we're going to be doing a lot of maneuvers while in space. But this will probably do. This will be the tourist rescue mission Mark 1. A nice pickup line for your Kerbals. There we go. A nice pickup line. Let's make sure there's nobody in them because we've got 3 people floating around. This one has a probe core and it will be able to transmit any science and whatnot if we have a contract for that. Just put an antenna on it, some solar panels, a battery. This thing will do fine on its own. There we go, let's launch. So here we are, SAS enabled. I forgot to check my staging, of course, but it seems to be fine, except I want this one to fire simultaneously, and this will decouple. There we go, it's all fine. Now, let's lift this off the ground. It is rather heavy and it goes a bit slow, but let's start making a slight turn this way. And we don't need to go fast, so we can even throttle back a bit if we don't hit the darker blue atmosphere and we start to catch a bit of fire. Then it's even better to throttle down. Ultimately, your orbital speed will need to be 2250 meters per second, but in the atmosphere you don't want to burn all your fuel going fast if it's not necessary. Now this is a bit top heavy, that's why I've got the winglets on it, because otherwise it wouldn't be very stable. And slowly but surely we're going to pick up some more speed. There we go. We've got a bit of resistance already. Just about to ditch the two external fuel tanks with their reliant engines. That's the name. We've got a swivel in the middle. It's a classic setup, this one. Fuel transfers to the middle stage, just like with our Mun rocket. There we go. This will go, and we are still picking up speed, which is nice. And now we can topple over to about 45 degrees. That's just fine. Oh, they hit each other in mid-flight. There we go. Still heading for that 90-degree mark. And let's take a look at our... Look at that. There's Ludberry's capsule. Let's set it as a target. We didn't go for a optimal launch window. So what we're going to do is we're going to let Ludberry catch up with us by getting a higher inclined orbit than his. So what are we going to do? We're going to see, let's see, his highest, his periapsis is 82 and his apoapsis is 82 as well. So we're going to go 85, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon 85 will be fine. We're going to go a bit higher. We're going to let him catch up with us. How's our fuel doing on this stage? We're doing fine. Doing fine on fuel. That's nice. We've got plenty. Let's put this on stage view. There we go. So our closest encounter now is about is 331 kilometers of separation, and that's fine. Because we are going to go into a higher orbit and we're going to let Ludberry catch up with us. If you're in a higher orbit, you need to go you need to do more distance for every orbit. So with that logic, he'll catch up with us because he has less distance to travel all the time. So we're going to go for the... I said 85, but let's do 90 just to be a bit safe. There we go. There we go. Now, as you can see, we've even got a second intersect. I don't know how that works because we're plummeting right back down to Earth. We're almost at orbital velocity, so let's get near to our apoaps. If we hit about 30 seconds, because I know we've got the thrust-to-weight ratio, that's fine. We've got enough power to get this moving. So around the 30-second mark, let's time warp there. We'll do another burn. We're almost out of fuel on this stage. There we go. Turn a bit, and boom. We're almost out of fuel, so we have to switch to our Terrier, which is a lot weaker than this one, but will work better in a vacuum. There we go. And there we go. Nice. Still gaining speed on our apoaps, that's fine. Right, now it's just a matter of circularization. We're gaining height on the apoaps. It's not bad, but we don't want to go a lot higher. We're better off waiting until we're near our apoaps. We don't want to see our ascending node, we just want to warp here. There we go. We're almost at orbital velocity. There we go, let's burn for a bit more. And there's the periapsis. We want this to be 82. That would be ideal, 82. There we go. Now every lap that we're going to make around this planet, the intersection will be a bit closer because we are higher than this one, about 10 kilometers. So let's take a look. Let's go a lap. This one will plummet back to Earth, to Kerbin. Very sorry. Keep saying Earth. I don't know why. There we go. And now look, this intersection will be closer every lap we do. So let's do a couple more laps and let's see if we can get this separation to around 30 to 20 kilometers. Closer is always better, but you can brute force it if you're about 20 kilometers out. Now if you do have plenty of fuel like we do, we've got plenty of fuel to get back to Kerbin. What you could do is go towards your intersect point and grab the prograde in this case and just burn towards your prograde, making your orbit bigger. But we don't need this descending node, thank you. There we go, let's warp here. We'll make our orbit a bit bigger, so this Ludbury capsule will have time to catch up with us even more. So there we go, let's have a burn. And you can do this all with maneuver nodes. If you're not sure what you're doing, please use maneuver nodes. It's very easy to set up. I'm just going to eyeball it. There we go. About a kilometer, that's fine. You know what? We can make it even better. 0.4 is about the closest we can get at this point. So what we're going to do now is we are going to warp all the way here. Look, we've got a bit of a higher orbit now than the rest. We've got a 0.1 degree difference between us, which is not really bad. There's a lot of debris in this area. We should really get rid of it. So there we go. Ludbury's capsule is coming closer. And now we're going to eyeball the rest. Now be sure to set your navball in target mode. It will automatically put itself in target mode if you're close. If it's not, just watch this. You need to be in target mode. Now we need to get the target retrograde rather soon actually, because we are about to overshoot our target. There we go. And let's burn towards this retrograde marker. Target retrograde, to get rid of all of our target velocity, our relative velocity to the target. There we go. And now what we want to do is search for the target icon, which is the opposite of that one. Here it is, the target. It's like a crosshair. It's pink and it's like a crosshair, can't miss it. Now what we want to do is we want to burn towards our target. Now 5 meters per second is enough. You just need to have a little bit of patience. Let's lock it on the retrograde. We can't lock it because we don't have a pilot. Perhaps we'll pick up a pilot. That will be easy. That would be really nice as well. And now we are about to burn towards Ludbury's capsule. Because we know Ludbury's capsule is in a stable orbit, we don't need to watch our maneuvers, because as soon as our target relative velocity is the same as Ludbury's capsule, we'll not crash into Kerbin, because we are damn sure about this working. Because he is in a stable orbit, then so must we. Right, this is quite close enough for a spacewalk. Right, let's put it on the there we go. Now, do remember to quick save. I can't say this enough, because this will go wrong sometimes, and if it goes wrong very, very well. Usually you can't fix it if it goes wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. You can press the bracket keys to switch between items. So we've got an engineer. All right, let's EVA this engineer. Let's turn on the jetpack and let's go towards our spacecraft. Now remember, small maneuvers, otherwise you're going to fling into space, which is really bad. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the movie Gravity. I haven't, but I've heard that spacewalks are forever traumatized if you watch that movie. Alright, there we go. Grab on and board. Now we've got an engineer on board, which is nice. We're going to transfer him. Let's see, where is it? Transfer crew, there we go. Towards the crew cabin. You can have a nice seat on the crew cabin. There he is. Alright, so we've got more targets to pick up. So let's go into map view and let's select our next target, which is this pod. Now we don't really have a close encounter. Look at that. That's very far away, but we can use the same trick as we did before. Just be sure to put it into orbit mode again. We're nearing our intersection. We're going to up our our orbital speed. We're going to up it until we have a close encounter. So there we go. Let's turn around a bit. There we go. Just so we have a nice view. And I think this is close enough. So we're going to increase our orbit and make sure that our intersect will be closer. So the next intersection will not be close at all, but look at that, there's another intersect that we're going to get, which is our second orbit intersect, and that will be very close. Oh, and now it's our first intersect. There we go, 0.5 kilometers. That's nice. Now still got plenty of fuel, as you can see, so we're going to warp to here. And we're going to put ourselves in target mode. And while we are warping, we're going to get a very high orbit around here. There we go. And now we need to burn target retrograde to slow ourselves down. So we need to burn off this target velocity speed. There we go. This is going to take a bit longer than the other burns because, well, it was a bit of a bigger burn. There we go. Target velocity speed is nearing down. There we go. And just a bit more. There we go. Close enough. Now, we need to do a target burn. And the best thing to do is watch this in here, because so we can see our separation speed. So there we go. So now, here we are at 1 kilometer distance. We're going to point retrograde again, and as soon as we get there, going to burn off some more speed. So this is a really different maneuver than what we did before, because the target is so far away, and we didn't wait a couple of laps, which you should do if you don't have any fuel. But for now, this will do fine. Burn off target velocity relative to the target. There we go. And now our closest next intersection will be around there. It's a bit far away, isn't it? It's a bit far away. Let's fix it. Burn towards the target. Where's the next intersection? It's going to be there, thereabouts. So how far away are we? Oh, just a couple of... It's not very far away, actually. You know what? Let's burn off our target relative speed again. Somewhere around here. There you go. Doesn't need to be very perfect. There we go. And now burn towards the target and just close in softly. And there we go again, just a couple of 100 meters out. We'll burn slowly towards the retrograde target marker. There we go. Nice and steady. And I think, quick save, I think that will do. So let's EVA our scientist this time. And where is our ship? Where is it actually? Am I that blind? Let's go into map view, because apparently I am very blind. No, we don't want Delina's pod. We want... Oh, come on, can I not click my tourist rescue mission? This is a bit awkward, actually. Oh, there it is. I'm just blind. That's the problem. I'm very blind. Alright, so let's burn towards it. Let's press Control to go relatively down. There we go. Do not bump into your rocket at very high speeds, because it will send you flying into space, which will make it all the less. It will make it less easy to grab onto it. There we go. So now we're going to do the exact same with the last one. Have we got enough fuel? Yeah, we've got plenty. We've got plenty of fuel. So let's... this is Ludbury's capsule. This is someone's Hulk. Rodri's Hulk. There we go. So we've got a rather close encounter already. So, just to show you one more time, I'm going to go towards the intersect marker. And because he is behind us, we're going to increase our orbit. Where is it? That's the retrograde. We want the prograde. Prograde, there you are. Oh, come on. I should have added a reaction wheel, because this thing steers like crazy. Alright, there we go. So we're going to bring back this marker just by increasing our orbit. And we're going to go for a nice... Oh, that is really... We could have had a perfect encounter there, but I overshot the controls. Alright, so let's warp. Let's do a nice little round around the Earth. Kerbin, I mean. I keep saying Earth. Let's take a look at the contracts, because we've got a lot of contracts. We've got... you can keep the crew you get, by the way, which is really great. Rendezvous maneuvers around Kerbin. Crew transfers near Kerbin. Exploration. Nice. Synchronized free-falling. There we go. Alright, so we're nearing each other. Let's put ourselves into target relative mode. Let's go towards the other side. Let's burn off this 44.5 meters per second of difference. We should have done it by now. There it is. It's falling away. Oh, that was beautiful. That's a single, just one single movement. Alright, we're going to quick save. We're just going to do a hop. We're not going to wait until we're standing still. This engineer is just going to hop. Alright, space to let go and get in. Oh, look at that. There we go. We've hit it. Don't hit it because you'll spin uncontrollably and you'll go away from your spacecraft if you spin, which is not the best. And there we go. Zoom in. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. Got it. Grabbed. Alright. That's all three. Yeah, all three of them. We should now get back into orbit maneuver mode and let's get down. Let's get down to business. So we could, of course, go... I think there is some debris left on the pad, but I can't seem to target it. Here it is. Here's a target. So what we need to do is we need to deorbit from there. And get into a nice periapsis. Well, we're not too heavy, so we're gonna go very, very deep down. I think about 20 kilometers even to make our insertion. There we go. Now, if we deselect this as target, we'll just have the normal controls back. I think we've still got plenty of fuel. We can do a landing burn even. All right, so let's get back to business. Let's get down to Earth, or to Kerbin in this case, and we're just going to point retrograde. And as soon as we start burning up, we're going to fire our engines until they die. There we go, going lower and lower and lower. Just gonna wait a couple of seconds. Luckily we've got some people on board because we're landing on the dark side apparently. I didn't measure that out very well. And since we're dependent on a drone or a probe, whatever you want to call it, since we're depending on electricity, this was a very bad idea. But luckily we've got a battery. We've got plenty of battery power. All right, so there we go. Let's burn to get rid of this speed as much as we can. Come on. Yeah, burn it off. There we go. Look at that, we're pushing through the thick of the atmosphere without as much as a scratch. This is going rather nice actually. If we take a look at that map, yeah, we're going to land on the dark side. There's nothing we can do about it this time. So have we done all of these science around here? I think we did. Yeah. Just checking. Yeah. Crew report maybe. Yeah, we have. Alright, that's fine. Right, let's get rid of this speed. We had plenty of fuel, by the way. We could have done much more aggressive maneuvers if we wanted to. Right, let's get rid of this fuel. Alright, let's get rid of that one. We don't need the engine anymore. We've got a bit of a heat shield, but I don't think we need it. There we go, catching a bit of heat. But we've got drogue chutes. We can slow down as soon as the atmosphere gets us. We could even open our drogue chutes here, but I think it's a bit unrealistic if we did. Alright, let's just let gravity take a hold of us. I think around 5,000 I'm going to open my chutes. This is fine actually. This is very fine. Yeah, we're safe to open all of our chutes if we want to, so let's just do it. Drogue chutes deployed. Let's try to log the pressure data. Well, flying at Kerbin. We didn't have that one yet, apparently. Flying over Kerbin's highlands. Alright, so that one's biome specific, and the press mid barometer is not. Alright. Fine. Crew report above the highlands. Yes, we have done a crew report. Right, now let's land. We're as safe as can be. We're just going to be landing on the side of a cliff, which is a bit odd, really. Let's see. You're in the control. Yeah, you're in here. Let's do an EVA. We've already got an EVA above the highlands. That's fine. There's something down there, but I don't know what it is. It's probably just a pointy rock. So there we are. We've rescued some Kerbals from space, and we've learned how to do some docking / encounter maneuvers. Docking is rather the same except for the last bit, because you need to actually touch aircrafts, and for that you probably want some RCS controls, some monopropellant controls, and we'll do that in a different episode. You just have to set a target on the ship and control from your own docking port, and that's basically it. That's all there is to it. There we go. I'm just going to land this one, and we're going to meet back at the Kerbal Space Center. I'll just show you what kind of science and whatnot we've gathered from this. And there we go. Touchdown. So there we are. We get a bit of science from the highlands. We get a bit of science from returning. Pressure scan flying at Kerbin. We're not getting back a lot of funds because we didn't land anywhere close to the space center. We've got a couple of level 1 scientists and engineers now, which is nice. And we've done all of our missions except for this one. Place a satellite in a specific orbit. Now, let's take a look at what we can do next time. Certainly explore Minmus. That's going to be fine. This is all Mun. We've been there. We just want to do some different things now. We've already planted a flag on the Mun, but, you know. Everything says Mun. It's a bit of a bummer because I wanted some Minmus contracts. We've also got a nice fair bit of science which we can use. We didn't really spend our science at the beginning of the episode. I would love to have this specialized control because it will give you the fly-by-wire avionics hub. And this fly-by-wire avionics hub, let's purchase this immediately. It's expensive, but if you put this on your plane anywhere, you can even put it in a service bay if you want to. But this will give you full control, like a level 3 pilot would. It will give you the options to let's take a look at it. It will give you SAS options basically. Utility, is it a utility? No, it's not. It's control, but where is control? There we go. You just plonk it on, and we'll just put the antenna we had. We'll just put it there, why not? Put it pointing up. Nice. And this will now fly like you haven't seen before. So this is now the Mark II, of course. There we go. And this will easily do maneuvers. You can lock towards your target. You can lock towards the target retrograde. You can lock towards basically anything. Oh, we've got some more contracts completed. Nice. So yeah, this will lock towards basically any direction you can think of. So that's very nice. Let's see, tourist rescue mission. This can be deleted. This is the old one. There we go. Cancel, leave. So we have some debris flying around. If you want to take these pods and if you're in the tracking station, you can click on one of these pods. You can just terminate them. Just like Rodri's Hulk. There you go, terminated. Ludbury's capsule. This Munlander debris, you can terminate it. If you really want to min-max, you could of course send up a simple probe with the claw on the end, bring it back to Kerbin, and get a couple of funds. But you know, we're not that min-maxing, we're just eyeballing most of these. So next time we're either going to go to the Mun or we're going to put the satellite in a specific orbit, because we still have this contract for the satellite, which is a really big orbit. It's even bigger than the Mun's orbit, and we need to make sure that it's in an inclination where it will never encounter the Mun. That's great. Otherwise it would have been pulled towards the Mun eventually. So we can put some nice science experiments on it, and whenever we have a contract to get science from space around Kerbin, we can just switch to our satellite and easily pick it up, the science, and just transmit it back to Kerbin. So that will be really nice. For now, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all again next time. Have a great day.